Robert goes, Jonathan said, tell me this. According to the word of God, are me and Suzy in right standing with the word of God? And he goes, yeah, biblically you're right, but please don't uncover me.
Don't uncover me.
Don't uncover me. These words, spoken by Robert Morris to Jonathan Lamb, reveal a stunning reality about the state of Christian leadership. Morris, a trusted pastor with deep ties to Daystar Television Network, knew exactly what was happening behind the scenes, yet he chose to remain silent. Even more shocking, Jonathan and Suzy Lamb, who sought his counsel, were told they were biblically correct in their concerns. Why would a pastor affirm their position yet beg to stay hidden? Today, we're uncovering how deep the connections run between Robert Morris, Joni Lamb, and Daystar, and how a culture of secrecy continues to shield sins in the Christian world.
So, Pastor Robert Morris, he married us. We loved him. We loved him so much for so long. Loved his family, loved our church, Gateway. And so when she starts dating Doug, Jonathan and I, we go to our pastor, what you should do. To meet him and his wife, completely share our hearts. He's fully supportive. And then we come closer to the wedding and he says, I told him I don't feel right to even go to this wedding, but he said you should go, and we're obedient. We went.
Robert Morris has a long history with the Lamb family and Daystar. He officiated Jonathan and Suzy's wedding, ministered at Marcus Lamb's memorial service, and later initiated and officiated Joni Lamb's marriage to Doug Weiss. His ties to Daystar are undeniable, and his influence within the Lamb family runs deep. But these connections also raise serious questions. How much did Morris know about the internal conflicts at Daystar? According to Jonathan Lamb, Morris was fully aware of the spiritual manipulation and power struggles within the network. When Jonathan and Suzy turned to him for guidance, Morris admitted they were in right standing with the Word of God. Yet instead of supporting them, he begged them not to expose him. Why would a pastor, tasked with standing for truth, make such a plea? The answer lies in a troubling pattern of self-preservation and mutual secrecy among Christian leaders.
We go, and then all of a sudden things are changing. Now he's doing something he never did before. He's welcoming Joni and Doug from the stage. He never did that to Marcus. We're like, this is weird. And he's saying nice things about them. He wanted more airtime on Daystar. He wanted to double his airtime or something. Even when we're talking about the marriage situation, he's like talking about airtime, which was sad, but we're like, okay. Then this whole thing, Joni's firing me. So the day she fired me, she sent all the big wigs, because I am obedient. She sent the big wigs to call me. I don't want to go to the list of people that called me to beat me to submission, but Jonathan, I was never more proud of him. He gets on a call with Robert. I can say this now because it's all blown up, but Robert told Jonathan, I used to be young and strong like you, black and white in my convictions, but I've changed. And Jonathan just kept beating him with the word of God.
It's compromise.
And Robert goes, Jonathan said, tell me this. According to the word of God, are me and Suzy in right standing with the word of God? And he goes, yeah, biblically you're right, but please don't uncover me.
Don't uncover me.
I heard that and I was just like, oh, God, what's the point of a pastor if you want to be covered and hidden?
Is this the same Robert Morris who had the whatever issue?
Yeah.
When did that happen in relation to that conversation?
So that conversation happened probably in
July
of 2023.
Morris's involvement in Joni Lamb's marriage to Doug Weiss adds another layer of complexity. As the officiant of their wedding, Morris publicly endorsed their union, despite the controversy surrounding it. According to Jonathan and Suzy, Morris's actions during this time seemed motivated by personal gain. They alleged that Morris sought to secure more airtime on Daystar, prioritizing his platform over addressing the growing dysfunction within the Lamb family. This favoritism didn't go unnoticed. Jonathan and Suzy observed how Morris treated Joni and Doug with a level of public support that he had never extended to Marcus Lamb during his lifetime. This selective behavior further underscores the culture of compromise that permeates Daystar and its leadership. It's allegedly possible that Joni Lamb and Jimmy Evans were aware of Robert Morris's troubling past. Accusations from the 1980s claim Morris mistreated a 12-year-old girl, Cindy Cleamer, leading to his removal from ministry. Yet despite these allegations, Morris managed to rebuild his career, becoming a celebrated figure in the Christian community. Did Joni and Jimmy know about these accusations? And if they did, why did they continue to support Morris? These questions point to a deeper issue: the willingness of leaders to shield one another from accountability to preserve their own positions.
But even Robert Morris said that biblically we're right. And this is not about right or wrong, but let us have our convictions. And she goes, oh, there's a woman in Oklahoma who's about to expose Robert, so don't worry about him. And like laughed. We were like, so when you mentioned, people have dirt on each other,
I'm just being real.
that they knew.
She knew.
They knew because Jimmy told her. Jimmy had done bad things apparently at Gateway. They never uncovered him because he had dirt on Robert.
And so I guess that's what I was saying. I mean, I know that's the case because I've been around too long. So essentially, there's a compromise in judgment right there because clearly you're still bringing these people and having conversations about more airtime.
Right.
But this is going on. And then out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. One thing he said, and I've dealt with this so many times, please don't uncover me.
Right.
Like that, already that you're operating in. And it's crazy to me. And this is what I believe that God is doing in this next season.
Yeah.
The reason exposure is coming is so the fear of God
Yes.
comes back on the church.
Yes.
People are too comfortable playing with God in the pulpit. And I think it's King, it keeps coming back to David, King Saul.
Yeah.
He started off right, didn't listen to the prophet, and then, the presence left him. And the difference between Saul and David, Saul, please don't take the kingdom from me. Please don't take Daystar from me. Please don't take my church Gateway from, please don't.
Yeah.
David, please don't take your presence from me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they're more concerned with the things that they've gained and the money.
Yeah.
In the midst of this chaos, Jonathan and Suzy Lamb have emerged as voices for truth. They have openly confronted the spiritual manipulation and favoritism within Daystar, challenging not only Joni Lamb, but also the broader system that allows such behavior to thrive. Their interaction with Robert Morris was a turning point. When Morris admitted they were biblically correct, but still begged to remain hidden, it revealed the extent to which leaders are willing to compromise their integrity to protect themselves. For Jonathan and Suzy, this was a moment of disillusionment, a realization that even those they once trusted were part of a larger web of secrecy. Why does this happen? The answer lies in the fear of losing influence. Many leaders rely on their platforms to maintain their ministries, and exposing one another's sins could jeopardize their standing in the Christian community. This creates a cycle of mutual protection, where no one is willing to speak out for fear of retaliation. As the Bible teaches, what is done in darkness will be brought to light. The Daystar scandal is part of a larger season of exposure, where God is shining a light on the corruption and compromise within the church. Jonathan and Suzy's courage in speaking out is a reminder that true leaders prioritize truth over reputation. For too long, Christian leaders have operated in a system that values image over integrity. But this season of exposure is a call to action, a moment for the church to demand accountability and transparency from its leaders.